Happy New Year's, everybody!
I thought they'd make noise.
Me too.
To the podcast audience, we're blowing poppers or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess it reminds me of like a chameleon?
Yes,
Their
a chameleon's tongue, yes. Oh, I didn't even think of that right now. I'm keeping mine.
Or chameleon blowers. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everybody!
Wow, it's 2024.
2024. Amazing.
Yes, and it is is it the 22nd or 23rd?
It is our 23rd episode. 23.
Wow, we're 23.
23 and 24.
Oh, wow.
It's nice. We're old enough to rent a car now. We're able to do that.
Wow.
We're getting a little older now. We're getting a little more mature.
Our brain is developing.
Getting closer to our mid-20s, you know, where we're starting to contemplate a lot more.
Okay. Do you remember what life was like for you when you were 23?
Barely. Yeah.
For better or for worse.
A good 100 years ago that it was.
Oh,
it feels like now. Yeah. I really feel like I started to find myself more in my early 20s, around your age actually, as when I started to really feel more comfortable in my own skin and kind of go into where I am now.
Yeah.
How about you?
Cool.
How did you, those many years ago for you when you're
wow.
early 23?
Feels like it was... I can't do math right now.
Yeah.
It was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because I am 27 right now, right? Okay, everyone checking my math. Good.
Yeah. Carry the two.
Right. And I think that I was a little lost, to be transparent.
Yeah.
I think I really started to come into my own, like you said, feeling like myself when I was 25. Something about turning 25, I was just like, oh wow, this is who I am. Yeah. This feels really nice. This feels good.
That's the part of it I think that is great, is when you kind of, this is, not to say that you can't evolve or change, but okay, I'm really probably pretty, this is kind of the core of who I am.
Yeah, and
then,
being comfortable with that.
Yeah. It's a gift. It really is.
Very much so.
That's cool to hear that you hit that too, because I don't know, I feel like I started to get there, but I was probably, being honest, in my late 20s, early 30s before it really came home.
Yeah.
And I started to become more of the person I not only wanted to be, but who I am now.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I feel like it's New Year's, and we should let the audience know, a New Year's tradition for us is wearing hockey jerseys and talking hockey.
Woo!
So what the Muppet is, what the hockey? What the hockey, everybody? Let's face off. No. You want to explain yours?
Yeah, so my husband was a hockey player since he was, super little.
For the podcast audience, Bria is wearing a Montreal Canadiens jersey, and it rocks.
Number 14, Suzuki.
Yeah.
Nick Suzuki.
Nick Suzuki.
So I like watching with him because he loves hockey. It's a big part of his life and his passion. I do not know that much about it. I know a few key words, and I use them to my fullest extent. If a stick is left on the ice, I say, yard sale.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Oh, well played. Nice.
Thank you. I semi know what icing is. I definitely know what high sticking is.
Oh, yeah.
But my favorite character is...
Yes.
My favorite player.
No.
You can tell I'm a theater kid who's
absolutely
auditioning for a role of hockey fan.
Sports is entertainment. You're
yeah.
not too far off.
Right.
Character, player, it's fine.
My favorite player.
God, I love that.
Is the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, Nick Suzuki.
Yeah.
That's
Great
why
player.
my husband got me this jersey for Christmas. It was really nice of him.
Would you, and it'll be the overshare here, but would you mind letting them know as well when you don't know a player's name? This is my favorite part.
Yes. I like to come up with fun nicknames for the players. So, one of them that I can think of off the top of my head, I don't know if I know his actual name, but it's Caprice or something, and I call him Capri Sun. Whenever I hear him,
that's great.
I'm like, look at Capri Sun go. He's really skating out there. There's a player that's from our town, Stevens Point, Cole Caulfield.
Yep.
I call him Schmoley. I don't know why. I can't remember why. So it takes me a minute to remember his actual name. So I think that's why we like the Canadians a lot.
Yeah. Cole, a great player, played for UW.
Yeah, he's really he's like a star.
I think he's on the first. I think he's on the first line. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a top player on that
Those
team.
like, what is it when they're in overtime and they make those shots?
Yeah, power play.
Yeah, he's really good at
Or
those.
you mean? Okay, I'm sorry. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like
yeah.
in the overtime and they're like alternate turns.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the Canadians, but this really is turning into about the hockey. But
Yeah. I'm
but
loving it. This is what my
Just
plan has been
beating.
all along. Yeah.
Just slowly turn to hockey.
Excellent.
First you bring my husband into your fantasy
Yes,
hockey
yes.
team, and now you're
All
changing our
coming
podcast.
together. Yes. Excellent.
I don't know what it is about the Canadians, but sometimes it's like diamonds are made under pressure, and it's like they're not scoring that great in the first 2 periods, and then the third period comes, and they're like, okay, we should kick it up a notch, and then they just score like crazy.
Some teams are just like that.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks won a cup that way, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They had one of those teams like that.
The Stanley Cup?
Yeah, nicely done. Nice.
I gotta shine where I can.
Oh, you take them. You take those points.
Thank you.
If we're talking hockey, all points count. So,
Oh my god.
I couldn't help but tie that in. I can't help but also mention this real quick to wrap up the hockey talk.
Yes.
Bria's grandpa, Papa, my dad was a former hockey player, played minor league hockey for quite some time, and a guy that I think the first teams that I loved before I was even born were the Blackhawks and Bears, and I'm just
born.
yeah. I was in the womb,
It's
and my
in your
dad,
bloodstream.
literally
Yeah.
in my blood.
I was
too.
just reading you like scores. While
If you
were
cut me, I bleed red. I mean, that's how much I love the
Wow.
Blackhawks.
Oh
That's
my gosh, that's beautiful.
It was a horrible.
It's poetry.
It's kind of funny and fitting how you and Matt end up together, and Matt's a big hockey fan.
I know.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Isn't that crazy?
Bria and I had the idea of wearing our hockey jerseys for our first episode here, and I had to wear my Blackhawks jersey, which I also got for Christmas. It was way back when I was living in Illinois, but I also got
No
this
kidding.
for Christmas.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
wow.
I was waiting
That's
to
super
tell you
cool.
for the show here. But
Yeah.
I thought that's it. Just
Oh my
all kind
gosh.
of ties together. It's so great.
And here we are.
And go Blackhawks. Yes. I really love that we started with hockey. I didn't know where this was going to begin, but man, I love it. Stay tuned for the next mini episode or show inside a show. What the
Yes.
hockey inside of What the Muppet.
What the hockey?
Nice. I love it.
Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
On
everyone.
that, I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season and you're safe,
Yeah.
cozy, you're
Yeah.
healthy, and let's just kick off some good vibes for the new year, because we all deserve some good, peaceful, Muppety vibes.
Yeah. Before we dive right into the game, I do think we
Yes.
should mention this as
Yes,
well.
I wanted to. So Megan at Malone's Pops, I believe, had a competition for this backpack. If you follow us on Instagram, you saw my very excited unboxing video. I can't thank Megan enough. This bag is so cool. Like,
that's amazing.
the picture was really cool. Holding it and touching it was like another thing. Opening it and seeing all the cool stuff inside, so cool. If you want to look inside the bag and stuff, I would suggest going onto Instagram and checking that out. It's like one of our
It's worth it.
first posts or something. Yeah. But yeah, so cool. Thank you so much, Megan.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. That's awesome. Anytime you can make my one of my kids smile, I'll take it. So I'm going to send the other two your way. Thank you, Megan. It's really cool to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see like getting something like that and saying that you were going to give it away as a surprise, and then like, you know what? No, here's a cup. Like,
Here's a cup. Here's a picture of the bag.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you meant. Nice. I like that.
Technically, it is the bag.
You
It's the photo.
You got to read between the lines. I didn't tell you were getting the bag. Thank you, Megan. That's very cool.
Thank you so much.
Support her work too.
Yeah.
What she's doing.
I'll add her socials on the screen or something like that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
And you said also that you have won a lot of things. I know exactly what that's like. So I was so excited for you.
Very excited.
Yeah, that's
thank
cool.
you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Meg.
I don't remember who picked last. I think that.
Oh, because we had the Emmett
guys.
Otter. Well, we had the guys.
Oh yeah,
And then the Emmett Otter
Yeah.
episode where we didn't pick. So
Should we just,
and
like,
it's a new year.
Yeah, we should start fresh.
Let's start fresh.
Yeah.
And ladies first, I think. I think that's a good way to do it.
Okay. So the Muppet Fact / quote hat. Wow. It almost feels like a long time since
I was just going to say
this.
that.
So
That is
it's
crazy.
Nice.
I was just literally thinking that. That's funny.
And even though it's a new year, we are still tied up. So
yes, we are still tied up,
let's
thankfully.
see
So let's see where we go
what
here.
we get. And we are tied with another fact.
How do you like that? It's
wow,
still
it's
tied.
just perfect.
It's crazy. We're going to overtime.
Overtime. Hockey podcast. A tradition on the Muppet Show that only lasted 2 episodes due to its high costs was that the celebrity guest would receive a Muppet version of them at the end of the episode.
Whoa.
The 2 guests that did receive one were Connie Stevens, an American actress, and Juliet Prowse, I don't know if I said that right, but an actress and dancer.
Wow.
Could you imagine getting a Muppet version of yourself?
I have goosebumps. Like
For real, that would be amazing.
Oh my God.
Oh
that'd be
my
cool.
gosh. Wow.
Shout out to our friend that made our art, our cover art and
Yes,
everything.
Aubin.
Without Aubin, I wouldn't know what, even at least with that, I know what it would look like in some way, and I'm really, really appreciative to that. I actually was just talking about it earlier on our morning show,
Oh, how cool.
and giving him a shout out and everything.
That's
Made sure
so
to
nice of you.
tell people to check out his work. That's so cool to just see it. I couldn't imagine actually having the puppet.
Right,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
and to
that'd be
like
amazing.
control it and stuff. Oh my gosh.
I don't care if this sounds morbid or not. I want to be buried with that thing. Like
I think you have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I plan on being cremated, but I might get buried
Well,
just so
that's
that I
good
can.
to know. Yeah.
This went a weird direction. I'm sorry.
Hockey afterlife.
Nice. That is a really cool thing to be able to get. Wow. I also could see how that would get expensive.
Yeah, and like time consuming because like that was a weekly production.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking of like all the like Vincent Price and Johnny Cash and some of the people that they had
That
on,
would have
and
been cool.
seeing a Muppet version of them
Yeah.
would be so awesome.
That would be really cool.
That would be awesome. That would be cool.
If you had like a say, like you were a guest and you had a little bit of like say in how your Muppet was created, like what color would you want your Muppet to be?
You know, I always I've thought about this before, and I love orange, so I thought of orange. I thought blue, but after seeing what Ava did with the green, I kind of like that.
It's like a yellowish, like a green.
Yeah, I kind of like that too. Any of the above, I think I'd be all right with. What about you?
Cool. I do like the purple that he chose too. Purple isn't like my go-to color, but I liked that purple. I think that it has cool, like calm, but like fun energy to it.
It fits. It fits. I don't know why, but it fits you. It does.
Thank you. That's nice. How cool is that, though? Oh my gosh.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
My brain is full of random useless facts, and every time we get one of these that is not up there in my mind palace, if you know what I love it. It just register. Okay, filing that away.
Right, file in cool effects.
Man, is that cool? That is really interesting. Good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Well.
Oh yeah.
You have the honor. The first Muppet or Muppet movie of 2024.
Oh, that's so
it
cool to
doesn't seem
think of.
real.
No.
Not a real year yet.
I don't know if that threw me more than that or the 23rd episode thing. Both of them just kind of really threw me. That's awesome.
Actually, yeah.
And thank you so much, everybody, for helping us get to that and be along for the journey.
Yes.
And yes, I'm prolonging. I'm making you wait. Yes.
We made you go through all of our hockey talk.
Yes.
And now this.
You know, speaking of which, one of the things about power play. No. Let's see who we have here. Ooh, Uncle Deadly.
No way! Okay, this is cool because I was watching. Sorry, I freaked out a little bit. I was watching Muppets Now before you got here because I wanted to get into the Muppety mood, and I've never watched the 2020 Muppets Now series on Disney. And the first episode showed a lot of Uncle Deadly. Yeah. And before I wanted to say Uncle something else, I pronounced his name wrong, but I really love Uncle Deadly.
Yeah.
Honestly.
One of those fun I don't want to say side characters, but one of those fun, interesting kind of characters that doesn't always get kind of a limelight or anything.
Right. Yeah. I think that he's very underrated.
Yeah.
Very underrated and underused.
I want to say, I was going to look it up, and now I'm trying to test my brain of what they called him. I want to say it was like the Phantom, not the Phantom of the Opera, the Phantom of the Show, the Phantom of the Theater, Phantom of the Muppet Show, something like that. But that was something that he was kind of like a running theme for him, I believe.
Was he brought in the original Muppet Show, or was it after? Because I don't know that. I know he was in Muppets in Space. That's when I first saw him.
That's the first time I remember him too.
Okay.
I think that he was after. I want to say he was after, although looking at his actual puppeting, his design and everything,
Yeah.
it does seem older. It does seem like an older,
Yeah,
like
could be like the-
similar to the older designs.
Yeah.
He is the only, as far as I can think of, the only Muppet Dragon. You know,
Yeah.
the only one.
Wow,
like
I never
that.
like categorized him, but he is a dragon, isn't he?
Yeah, I love dragons so
Yeah.
because I'm a guy.
Dragons are cool.
Yeah, dragons are cool. Yeah, and he's just a very interesting character. Wow.
He is.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I've thought about this before. Low key, high key for me. He's like one of the Muppets that I would like hang out with on a regular.
Absolutely.
He's just like have you seen Project Runway?
A little bit.
Okay.
I was, again, like a lot of guys that have probably
Sure.
seen that show, maybe I was dating somebody who was
Yeah,
watching it, so
secondhand.
yeah, I saw a little on the
Okay.
yeah.
You know Tim, like the
Oh, yeah.
designers.
Tim Gunn?
He has Tim vibes to
Oh,
me.
yes.
And I
yes.
love that so much.
As a side note,
Yeah.
Tim Gunn is amazing. I don't know a ton of his work, but what I have seen and when I've seen him in interviews, I love everything about that guy.
Oh, wow.
He seems like such a cool person, such an
does.
interesting person.
Yeah.
And there's maybe I can count on one hand people that I would let dress me.
Mhm.
I wouldn't let him dress me. Like I'd let him like decide what I wear the
You have
rest
to
of my
change your
life.
life.
Like yes,
Yeah.
Like if he told me this is
Tim
what
and
you
Sweetums are gonna.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah.
A callback.
Big great callback. God, I love a good callback. Uncle Deadly's a fun character, but also not your typical Muppet. The
Yeah.
name, the look.
Yeah, he's a little like anti-hero.
And a little more
Almost.
adultish almost
Yeah,
than most of them, I think. It's just in my opinion, or the impression that I get.
Yeah, definitely. He has almost like that like scare quality
Mhm.
to it. Maybe he came like after they started doing like their fantasy stuff. Because he does have kind of like a darker vibe to him versus like the other Muppets have more of like a cheer factor to them.
I think you're right. By the way, the blue that he is, or bluish gray, that's the color I want in my Muppet. That's
Ooh,
not.
I like that.
Just decided. I
like
just.
Canon.
Yes, now it's canon. Now it's canon. I'm trying to see. According his appearance. Yeah, I wanted to see when he originated.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm seeing it here. So I'll check that out. I'm going to look into that. But
Yeah.
he's certainly been featured in the Muppet movie, Muppet Take Manhattan, the Muppets Most Wanted.
Oh, okay. Well, then he came well before the Muppets in Space. Then, if he was in Manhattan, why do
Yeah.
I not remember that?
I that's what I'm trying to get through. Designed by Michael K. Frith, who did a lot of great work with them.
Cool.
Inspiration was John Carradine, which is perfect. That's actually very fitting.
I'm gonna be brave and admit that I don't know if I know who.
That's all right. A great character actor. A wonderful character actor. Did a lot of westerns.
Cool.
I'll show you a picture of him here. But he was.
Okay. Yeah, I can see the.
His son ended
the
up becoming a big
inspiration.
name actor too. But he was in I think he was in Grapes of Wrath and a lot of B movies. Good actor.
Okay. Cool.
But as far as when he made his debut, that's the part that I'm trying to figure out. And I think as far as shows go, so he was on the Muppet Show, so certainly on the original Muppet Show.
Okay. Cool.
So been around a while.
Yeah, I feel bad that I don't remember his induction into the Muppet universe,
Yeah,
but we love him all the same.
Absolutely. And I like to think that part of the, if I can say this, charm of our show is that we are doing this semi-professional.
Yeah, it's
We may not
honest.
have all, yes, it's very
Yeah.
real and honest. So hopefully you feel like you're a part of the conversation.
Yeah, there
in
is
the
no
room with us.
behind the curtain. The curtain
Yeah.
is always open.
I feel like we could easily be doing this show and stop, pause,
Yeah.
and look these things
Cut,
up.
we'll be
and,
right back.
You know, that kind of thing. But for one, it'd be very choppy. And two, it's...
That'd be a lot of work.
Yeah. And I think it's a little more fun this way.
I think so too. Yeah.
But I am definitely going down a rabbit hole later, a dragon hole later, and looking more into it.
Nice.
That's going to be fun. Uncle Deadly, welcome to the show.
Yes, I'm so excited. How would you describe Uncle Deadly?
I think we've done a pretty good job, really,
Yeah.
unintentionally. But yeah, because I was just thinking of like, okay, where do we... Yeah, we've kind of done that. Bluish, gray, kind of dragon.
Very snappy dresser.
Yeah, I love the little like whatever fur, whatever on his beard. Yeah, I love that. Interesting. You were saying you would hang out with.
Yeah.
Also, one of the Muppets, I would, and this is gonna sound really weird, that I would have a hard time not grabbing his beard. Or
Can I just touch it?
I've never had that inkling with human beings.
Yeah.
But I could see that with Muppets. I could see wanting to like touch a Muppet or something like that. I could see wanting to do that with him. Somebody that one of those characters that I think has more a fun edge to. A serious fun edge to. I'm trying to think of a good comparison with another Muppet to compare him with. It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, a little Sam the Eagle, a little, because I think Sam has moments where they're just.
It's like under the radar funny.
Yes.
Almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's the Muppet Christmas special we talked about, where he's walking around at one point, just like, why am I here? It's one of the funniest parts of the movie,
so
special,
funny.
I think.
Yeah.
So I think he has moments like that.
Yeah, I love how sassy he is. He's so sassy.
Yeah,
If you just like watch him and listen, like his mannerisms and it's weird to say facial expressions about like a Muppet, but his facial expressions and his like side comments, the side eye kind of thing, he seems like he could hang. Like you could watch some like trash TV with him and you would be on the same level like the entire time. That's my vibe.
That's a good point, I think. He'd be somebody I think it'd be easy to hang out with. You know, you get along with, and definitely could fit in with us. Definitely. I think he'd be great on the show.
Like, he doesn't look like it, maybe, but, like, he could. Yeah. The Muppet Now that I was watching before you got here, the first episode, it's Miss Piggy's, like, style, show, where she talks about fashion and stuff. And Uncle Deadly is like with her, almost like assisting and stuff. Cool. He is so sassy and so funny. It's like my favorite part of the show. It just has so many like clapbacks. It's hilarious.
Now I see a little more of the Tim Gunn thing. Now I see a little
that's
more.
That's where it's coming from.
Gotcha. That really fits too. That's great casting by them for him to put in that role. But that's one of those things that I really love in the old show. When they would put, I find one of the things fascinating about a sketch comedy is when you have a good collection of actors and who you choose for certain roles. The old Saturday Night Live, it was a lot of who wrote the bit and then choosing who they wanted in these parts. And sometimes it was a matter of just, I wrote the bit, I'm getting this part. But other times it's just a group effort and you're just kind of like as a group casting it. Broken Lizard does a lot of that from what I understand. The great guys that do the Super Troopers and those movies and everything, they seem to do a little of that. Where it's, I don't know, you're gonna do it.
You fill the role, that's fine.
It's similar to me with this kind of thing, where, okay, we've got this idea for a sketch or a segment or an episode. Who are we putting in these particular parts? You might come up with the plot, but who are the actors in it? Who are the actors, quote unquote, Muppets? You know?
Right, yeah, and there could be moments of like improvise, like things in there, and
I've never done this before, but since meeting the guys at Puppet Masters and None, shout out to them.
Go check them out.
Subscribe to their work. I've thought more and I've watched more of the actual puppeteering. Yeah. And seeing the behind the scenes stuff, and you actually see the puppeteers down there talking and working. And I've never been more like, I don't know, I've never been more drawn to something. I really feel pulled. No, I shouldn't say never, but it's been a long time since I've been drawn to something like this, where I cannot stop watching a lot of this stuff and seeing more and more of it. It's like watching the director's cut of episodes that I've seen that I've grown up on. It's really cool.
Yeah.
With a character like him, seems like it'd be really a fun one to do.
Oh yeah, and he has the live hands too, like like the puppet things. But I love those Muppets because they're just like have so many little hand gestures and things that they can do.
Ben telling us about Fozzie and him driving.
We were both like, what?
Yeah, it stayed with me in the best of ways though. Yeah. Like he was a little hesitant, I think, because ruining the. It was the opposite for me. It just made Fozzie even more real. It made him almost more lifelike to me. The human Muppet interacting is so cool. Like I love that. I think it's cool.
That was such a fun moment.
Yeah, that was great.
Love talking to those guys.
Good guys.
Too much fun.
We will be talking to them again, I'm sure.
Oh yes, very much. Well, let's put Uncle Deadly in a scenario with this.
What is he going to be doing? What
Yeah,
is he up to?
I'm very excited.
I think he is too. I think maybe push back a little bit. I'm sure he's excited.
Okay, what hobby or super intense interest could you see this Muppet having?
Wow.
Or super intense interest? Well,
What do you got?
My mind is a weird place.
Check.
I do not know why. But do you remember those like rhinestone guns from the 90s?
Oh, yeah. Yes. He's bedazzling everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just imagined like a deadly like jacket, like rhinestones.
Oh, I love a jean, like a light wash jean jacket.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, or like
right.
acid. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine him having a bunch of this like rhinestone stuff, but he only wears it when he's like going somewhere that is not associated with the Muppets. So they do not know about this side of his life. That's his rhinestone life. That's separate from his work.
I love it.
I don't know why that was literally the
So
first thing.
great.
I don't know. I don't never. Thought about
As a
rhinestones.
side note, I don't know what it was, but anybody that got into that, they got like really into it. They bedazzled everything.
Maybe that's why I
Like,
thought of it with the intense interest.
Yeah, like nobody was lightly into that. Nobody
Yeah.
did like one piece of clothing and that was it. Like
Yeah.
everything had it. Like they just use it like crazy. I love that. We're not going to be able to top that, but I will throw in.
Yes, please.
Now my brain is drawing a blank. We'll cut that out in editing. Well, no, we're not. Well, we're never cut anything out. Taxidermy. That's what I was trying to think. Taxidermy.
Wow, yeah.
For some reason, I think that he would be good. He would be into taxidermy. I can see that.
Yeah.
I might be doing a little bit of the macabre with the deadly name and stuff. Maybe
Okay,
that's where my
sure.
brain's associating.
What if they came together
Yes.
and he rhinestoned the taxidermy? Second life bedazzling.
It's never been done. I don't believe that's ever been done, but now it has to be.
Yeah.
Now it has to be through
That's
his
all
work.
Uncle Deadly.
Be sure to check out Uncle Deadly's Etsy page.
Yes.
He could really use the follows. Not a lot of people checking it out, but
Deadly Dazzles.
yeah. Oh my God, Bria. That was amazing. That was amazing.
It's not often that I hear you say my name.
That was so good. I almost want to do this now.
Yeah,
I kind of almost
just
feel like we
posing
have to create
as
an Etsy
him.
page for him.
Yeah.
I have to
Oh my
learn how to
God.
bedazzle now. It's
one
too
of us will
good of
cover
an
the
idea.
bedazzling, one of us will learn taxidermy.
Sounds good.
Wow.
Boy, that is a wonderful idea.
I love that.
Somebody get on that.
Please.
Somebody get on that. Oh, that's fantastic. No, I was right. We're not topping that. That's perfect.
No, I think that's it. Yeah.
I do love. Sorry,
No.
I do love when people leave comments. So please, if you have any other ideas, feel
Yeah, I
free to
would
add them.
love to hear them. Comment, email.
Good luck topping that. Good luck. That's good.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, how about he has that, but he also has like a recreational sport or something.
Yeah,
What could
yeah.
you see Uncle Deadly like getting into, like almost intramural like
Pickleball.
intensity? Wow, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking that or racquetball.
Oh yeah. Racquetball,
something along
pickleball,
those
something like that.
lines. Yeah.
Definitely, I couldn't see him being a golfer. I couldn't see that.
No. Yeah.
And shooting hoops is that's more like I think I'm that's something I love to do. So I think that my brain went there right away, but that's not that
Ooh,
doesn't fit.
We should play a game I invented very slightly called Top Hat. It is the same concept as like horse, but it's just top hat.
Oh, I love it.
I invented it when
We're playing.
I invented it when I was
We've got
in high school.
2 or 3 games of Monopoly to play yet. We've got a
Yeah.
couple movies to watch,
Now we
and
have Top Hat.
now we have Top Hat. Yeah. Our list is growing. I like this. That's a fun situation or thing hobby for him to be into. I
Yeah.
like that.
I think that like the racquetball, tennis, pickleball has like just the right enough of like what's the word I'm looking for? Competitiveness.
Yeah.
As well as like entry level like you can get
Exercise
into it.
and
Yeah.
nothing too strenuous.
Yes, and I think that he would wear the outfit very well.
Yeah.
Visor,
Yeah.
visor deadly,
The visor.
please.
The visor, yeah.
Bedazzled visor deadly.
It's definitely bedazzled. It's definitely bedazzled. His
Absolutely.
racket, bedazzled.
Yeah. If he loses a rhinestone, shut it down. It's done.
We have to stop. I gotta find it. Where's that?
Where is that rhinestone?
Nice.
No, I can't do impressions.
It's pretty good though. It's pretty good.
I did my best. Thank you. Well, we should talk about our favorite deadly moments if we could think of any.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the most recent Muppet movie.
No.
But he does have like a pretty good arc in there, I think. He's kind of an anti-hero. Well, he's kind of like in the villain side, but he becomes like good at the end, and he helps the Muppets, and I really like that character arc.
I think that's some of my favorite, if not my favorite, character work is that when we see that in like not just Muppets but in kid shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's such a harder thing and more rewarding thing as a writer to do that with a character than just bad guy stays bad guy.
Yeah.
Or bad guy isn't relatable.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, so much of entertainment nowadays, whether it's superhero movies or just a regular movie, you can't just have a hero anymore, and you can't just have a villain anymore. Both have to be relatable in some way or another.
Yeah.
You've still got your mad villain that wants to take over the world and things like that, but more times than not, they want to, it's the, I'm stealing, yes, but I'm stealing to feed my family.
Yeah.
It's this kind of like,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
it's a little more of that, where you don't agree with the stealing, but the reason. And they're doing more of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Muppets kind of always did do that with their characters, in part because it's a mostly balanced for kids and about kids, and you don't want to go too dark, obviously, but I think that's important for kids to see that.
Absolutely.
I never thought about this before, but I think that kind of is my arc in some ways.
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought of it, but that's and I think that's a lot of people. We start out one way, go another, or are this and evolve more into that.
Yeah, definitely. We're always growing and changing.
That's cool.
Also, if we're mentioning Uncle Deadly, we should also mention Bobo the bear. Because they're usually like sidekicks. They're usually together.
Yeah. Another great character.
Yeah, I think that's a very iconic duo. There's like, there's Beaker and Bunsen, but then there's Uncle Deadly and Bobo. I think they balance each other out pretty well.
Oh, nicely done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been listening to this later. I would have been kicking myself if we didn't mention it. Yeah.
I know I almost did.
What
about Bobo?
We got it in. Bobo might be showing up, right? Bobo
he's in there.
Bobo's in there? Okay,
We'll
get his moment.
He'll get his time in the spotlight. Well, Uncle Deadly, let's get into that last hat.
Let's do it.
Would you?
It's been a while.
It really
it's been
does.
a year.
Right. Give us a break.
That was bad. My humor is not. Okay. Would you rather go on a cruise with this Muppet or go on the world's largest roller coaster with this Muppet?
Ooh,
that's tough.
Very okay.
A lot of times with these, the answer pops in my head right away as I'm saying it or you're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Not with this one. That's tough. I think both would be a lot of fun. Now it's just a deciding which of the two.
Yeah. Have you been on a cruise before?
No, I've never been on a cruise, and I have never had any interest in them.
Me either.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
That actually surprises me a little. Just you have such an adventurous spirit, so I wasn't sure.
I do. We're all friends here. I can't really swim.
hon, I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah. No, I mean, if my life depended on it,
you'd float. You'll be all right.
We'd like to think so. Maybe a very pathetic doggy paddle.
Yeah.
I give myself a little credit. I can do that.
Yeah.
I could do one lap across a pool. I can't go underwater without holding my nose and stuff like that.
Are you okay with being out on the boat and stuff? Or?
Yeah, I don't mind being out on a boat. I think I'm worried if I would get motion sickness.
Right. Yeah.
I think that I've been more prone to that as I've gotten older. So I think that's the only thing that worries me about a cruise, or if one person gets sick.
Do you get nervous taking baths? Do you? No, I'm joking. Just trying to
I'm just holding on to the top.
I just feel for you, and I appreciate you sharing that, but I also feel for your vulnerability. So I'm trying to lighten it, but
that's okay.
That's interesting. I will more on that off air, I think. But
right, you go on the YMCA website, sign me up for swimming lessons.
That's my brain is in part. Recently we've talked about Papa a lot and him, and I learned to swim late in life. I was 12, I think, when I first moved up to Wisconsin, and Papa teaching me how to swim.
Aw, that's so sweet.
And that's just kind of brings it. There's a
Yeah.
tie in there from where my brain is. So yeah, your cruise probably not your option. You're probably not going to choose cruise. How are you with roller coasters and
Ooh,
things?
I
Do you?
love 'em.
Yeah.
I do like the reassurance of like this roller coaster is safe.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ride on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, then I love roller coasters. I think that they're fun.
So I think a roller coaster for you is a good option with him. That'd be fun.
I think so too. Yeah.
Would you want to be sitting next to him or him in like the one in front of you?
Ooh, sitting next to him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think that he would. I think he would let loose. I think he would be like the kind of guy that's like in the moment and he's like, hurrah! He just puts his little Muppet hands out.
My first image when I read that was of, I've never done this like on to Disney World or any of those Six Flags or anything, but those places where they take your picture
Oh,
when you're coming down.
Oh, fun.
And I had in my head the image of you and him, like with your
Oh
arms
my
up.
gosh, that would be so
was,
fun.
I didn't picture me, I pictured you. I just realized that. Yeah, I think that would be this not only a fun scenario with him, but a chance to see like a different side of him, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where the cruise, I feel like you might see a different side of him in a negative way. Like it's fun the first couple days. And please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to like. A lot of people seem to enjoy cruises and love cruise life and all that. But to me, that seems like the perfect scenario of day one. Great. Day 2, this is awesome. Day 3, day 4, day 5, I'm not sure I want to see these people anymore. I'm seeing these people every day. I turn a corner and I see this stranger and this guy that I don't, the cut of his jib or whatever.
Right, the guy with the bad tan.
Yeah, the guy it would be the guy with the bad tan. Yes, that would bug you. Yeah, I feel like a cruise life would get old real quick for me, and even quicker for Uncle Deadly. Even like real quick for him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like you could almost see a bad side, like you said, to anybody of like expecting something of service members and stuff, and like getting old with the activities and. I mean, there are those cruises where they make stops, so you can like get off the boat, so you don't get like boat fever, I guess.
Oh, one thing I will say too, though, depending on the roller coaster, if you're waiting in line with Uncle Deadly, like that would be an interesting scenario too,
I
where
could
you
see him
might
crossing
see
his arms and being like, "How long is this going to take?" He just
looking
bails.
around for other lines. He bails at you. Yeah,
makes you wait in line while he like grabs some churros or something.
Comes back because you saved his place. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I could see that too. Either way, and no matter what we did with him, it'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be memorable. Absolutely.
That was a fun episode.
Aw,
that was a lot of fun.
Uncle Deadly.
Thank you, Uncle Deadly.
I love that it's Uncle, too.
Yes. That's a great part of his character.
Yeah.
I think,
is he like British? Because he has an accent.
He does have an accent.
Yeah.
I love when the Muppets do this, where they give a character an accent that has no like origin. No, it's just it's just a fun voice.
Yeah. He's like that director from the Room.
Yes. Yeah.
Where they don't know where he's from.
No, nobody does. Nobody. He doesn't even know. It's a fun way of doing it while also being very, I think. Representative in some ways, where
there's diversity.
Yeah, without it being too direct, without it being too specific. They recently announced that they have their first ever Italian puppet, which we got very excited about and everything. Go Dagos. We can say that. It's cool to see them doing some of that. Like Sesame Street is a little more specific with those things. They have an autistic Muppet now, and that's beautiful to see. They kind of. I hate to say it this way, they kind of take care of that. And Sesame Street Muppeting takes care of that side of things a little bit more.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. But the Muppet's a little more vague, a little more out there.
I think Sesame Street has a better platform for that because it is like a neighborhood setting where like the Muppets, they're monsters and they're like weird gonzo things.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
But well,
great
Uncle
character.
Deadly. Yeah, thanks for opening 2024 for us.
Perfect
Uncle
way
Deadly.
to kick off 2024. And a great way, Uncle Deadly, a lot of people don't realize this, great left wing in hockey. Great left wing.
Absolutely. Hockey podcast.
Yes. We will now stick around after the episode here. In overtime, we'll be doing continuing our hockey talk.
Yes, absolutely.
To the rest of you, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of What the Muppet.
Yes, thank you so much. And I didn't tell you I was going to be saying this, but I want to throw this out there because it's 2024. It's a new year. and we want to do some exciting things for our podcast. So we are thinking about launching a Patreon. Yeah, where we can provide one extra episode a month and maybe like a little weekly pep talk newsletter and other fun goodies. So if you're interested in that, let us know, because we are in the works of developing that.
We've got some really fun ideas, some games that we'd like to play and different things that we'd like to do on there.
We have so many fun ideas.
They're piling up, and we haven't even gotten it going yet.
I'm really excited.
We'd love for you to support the podcast, and by that I mean Bree, and she is such
and you.
Yeah, you are such the heart of this, and do so much great work on it. Anything you see that that's really, especially marketing-wise, of our podcast, that's all her. When you support something like that, you're supporting a artist that is getting their go in life and getting their go in these things, and I think that there's something to be said for that too, supporting the arts.
Yeah, and that includes you, because you're a great actor and broadcaster.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
You read the teleprompter perfectly there. You read the.
Yeah, thank you. Saw it in the reflection of your Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody! Happy New Year! Thank you so much for kicking off the year with us. I thought they'd make noise.
I know, they're fun though. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you want to also support us, you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter.
Yes.
And I have kind of not really been posting on the TikTok. I've been focusing more on Instagram, but if you want to follow
it's on there.
Go right ahead.
Go check it out. It'll grow.
Yeah, it'll get there. Yeah. But until next time, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!